Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Price. Welcome to the November Energies, where 2020 is almost over. So, I want to start with a little review 2020 in general and October, because October, November, December are very interconnected. We're in this powerful phase of strengthening and clarifying your energetic structure. And of course, this amplifies your creative flow and getting more availability of creating with love. That is the work. And as I've said for years, when the loving light workers understand and utilize their power, that's when the world really changes. And Ariane, the Lyran Council of Time that I channel, has called 2020 the year of following your heart. And to follow your heart means you have to be able to connect with your heart, that quiet whisper, especially in the midst of loud chaos. And then you have to have the neutrality to let go of any unhealthy control, desperation, fear. And this then opens you up to the unknown potential of the future, that when you are resonant with that new potential through love, you're manifesting a future of love. And with so much collective fear and chaos this year, it really strengthened your need to be wiser with your energy. Getting too pulled into the drama and the chaos just takes over your powerful inner mental and emotional flow. And then you're not creating from your heart. You're not creating from your sacred space. And of course, it's a balance of being aware and having compassion and knowing what's out of your control and neutralizing to that. And that can be an uncomfortable place. It can be lonely. It can be scary because it's unknown. And you're holding a resonance that can seem really different from others or from what's going on in the external. And you can't always share that with people. So it feels a little more lonely. It feels a little uncomfortable, like it's easier to doubt yourself. And currently, it's human nature to want to create a resonance in others that makes you comfortable. And that's why control over domination, that has been the normal way that much of humanity has interacted. But that grip of control through fear is slipping away. But of course, not without a fight. And therefore, the chaos of this year is either creating a clearer focus or greater confusion. And if you have times of confusion, that is just a space of change. Be authentic with it and let yourself actually shift. That's neutrality. It's always key as you are transforming the polarization of duality into new form through your stable neutrality, like the neutral neutron that connects the opposite proton and electron. And I'm going to talk more about neutrality a little later when I talk about the October Lyran perspective channeling. But October's energy of self-love worked out another consistent 2020 theme, that inner triangle of strength, that three, the Holy Trinity, integrating duality. And that's embracing that three, the triality, where the opposites of duality become neutralized and connected within you. And all of this is to clarify your energetic structure, creating that crystalline communication. It's clear, it's strong, it's empowered flow. And these final 3 months are intensifying your need to strengthen and clarify your sacred inner realm, your diamond strength, so that your connection, which is where 2020 began with the January energy, your connection is clear, it's neutral, and it's strong. And that's very different from manipulation Desperation, control, greed, those are weak bonds. They're not strong bonds, even if they're unconscious. And self-love is about honoring your sacred vehicle, your infinite value, so that you are strong and clear enough to connect with life. And this is where November brings us, as that one, the January energy of connection, comes into its next harmonic interval. In this case, it's the 11. And 11 is the first master number, represents self-mastery. And when you're loving the self, that is the necessary physical focus in order to sustain your physical vehicle and make it a vessel of love. So that as you receive from the outside world, that information is saturated in love. All that comes into your awareness is saturated in love. And this is where love becomes a win-win instead of give or receive, which is duality or polarity focused. That is what November is bringing us to. And I was given the November energies as soul love, which is the next layer of integration as we shift from that strong internal realm of self-love into the connection with the outside world, soul love. And this is where that clarified and strong loving self connects into that external, that manifestation of the self, the different yet the same, the one and the one. And that's November, where that reflection externally is known as the reflection of the internal, manifest outward. That's where the infinite meets the finite. And from that human perspective, you discover that you are both. Not just one or the other, duality, that actually expands because your neutrality to truly connect opposites, just like that subatomic model, those two opposites become one. Now, this brings me back to a vision that came up for 2020, which was Gabriel's horn. And I spoke about this in the January video. This is a reference to the messenger archangel. And I was shown this massive tone opening the throat chakra. And Gabriel's horn is also a math problem that seeks to solve the funnel of the spiral, where the finite volume meets the infinite surface area. And this is something I'm going to talk about in more detail in a written post that actually has some pictures that an architect sent me that reached out to me in early 2020 as a project was completed building a physical Gabriel's horn. So if you're on my newsletter, you'll get a notification about that when it's ready. But November's soul love is a representation of all of this, where infinite possibility that touches that finite human expression of you creates, it manifests and creates experience in the physical realm. And this is what Jamie Sam's Sacred Path cards call the field of plenty, which is the cornucopia, which looks like a spiral, the horn of plenty. And this teaches us that we create with the infinite. You are limitless. And yet you're experiencing the physical expression of limits. And November is going to help you stretch beyond your known limits or the information of the past into future potentials that require you to expand in order to manifest. And it's the expansion of love that creates a stable new structure. Soul love has been shown to me as recognizing your true connection to the field of plenty that touches your heart, it inspires your mind, and it compels your spirit and form. Soul love asks you to remember the depth of who you truly are, to blend that powerful, cherished, valuable, finite human self with your infinite soul self, the aspect of you that transduces into an experience of physical separation, yet is never separate from your infinite nature, the infinite nature of life. And November's self-mastery is to love that reflection that seems so opposite, yet it's discovered that it's within you. Might be the unknown, that which cannot yet be seen with the eyes or grasped with the physical senses, but is known in the heart. The limits of the human experience with the limitless potential of your higher self, the aspect of you that's not bound by time or space, that is outside of the bandwidth of your physical senses, your physical density, yet part of you and interacting with you and through you in all time and space. And November calls you to bring your mastery, your loving self, to a new harmonic of creative power. The human you blended more consciously with your soul, the infinite you. And it doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you have the understanding that is an invisible, intangible, uncontrollable, unmanipulatable aspect of you, because it's not yet manifest in the physical, but it's real all the same. And you're holding that resonance in your finite experience in order to create that. You are infinite soul and you are finite self, merging that reflection of those two into one. So the two become one through that triangle, the densification of the spiral, Gabriel's horn, where infinite meets finite. And this is through the infinite love that's within you. I will be doing a Lyran perspective. And in last month's channeling about self-love, Ariane spoke about anchoring your power through humble love. And they recommended focusing on I am enough, which puts you into this neutral state. And it's easy to think that the only way to love is to amplify it within. Like, I'm so much love, I have to burst it out into the world. And of course, there's a season for all types of experiences. Yet really being well with what is, neutrality, is key to connecting all experiences with love, the positive and the challenging. And this is key to healing, so that you're really changing within. You're letting authentic emotions and thoughts come up so that they can come into your awareness, and then you can transform them. I will also be doing a monthly energies teleclass, bridging the human self and the infinite to embody your soul love in your human experience, helping to amplify your creative power. This is the exciting time of ascension, especially through the October-December timeframe. That's opening us to more of our creative power. Own your inner realm, your finite volume, and your infinite potential that's always just at the surface. Now, I am going to be changing my subscription program for 2021 so that it is better served as a progress through growing with the current ascension energies. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in detail next month. For now, let's talk about the light language transmission. There was a really strong balancing of the divine feminine energies, really owning your creative power, especially healing the second chakra so that we're embodying our creative inspiration. There was a lot of shift in the third eye, really opening up your perception of the previously unseen potentials. And the third eye helps you foresee those infinite potentials, the imagining of the unmanifest so that your infinite heart can come into manifestation. That mind and that perception gives a path of creation to the heart. And this activation of the third eye is also helping you to remember your true nature. I was also seeing power spots activating around the world. And this is a consistent theme recently because we're bringing our individual and our shared Akashic history into our present. And some people call this collapsing timelines. I like to also think of it as integrating storylines where that past experience becomes wisdom in your present moment. And this creates your resonance with a new future potential. And this is what happens with authentic interchange. Your resonance changes and then barriers between timelines dissolve into your powerful now, that mastery of 11, that reflection connected. And, by the way, when you join my newsletter, you receive an audio download about self-mastery, which is another great 1111 support. And I am also going to have a video coming out soon about the 4 in the 1111. We've talked about the 2, the 1, the 3, but there is also, of course, a 4 in that. And as my guides have shown it to me, it's the 4 pillars of ascension so that you are consistently moving through your growth. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for a reminder about that. This is a really powerful month that we are in. It's a very powerful time. And you are building that inner structure of self-love, which was October's focus, and merging that with your infinite potential that life is always surrounding you with. And this month, I am guided to build on the focus from last month's Ariane channeling. I am enough. So for this month, the healing statement is, I am enough. I am infinite. And then insert your topic of focus so that it's building on that neutrality of I'm enough and opening you up to that infinite. So I am enough. I am infinite creativity, love, abundance, resolution, healing. I am enough. I am infinite creativity. I love seeing what your focus is and, of course, supporting that flow. So please leave a comment below that supports your sum of Gabriel's horn, the finite meeting the infinite. I am enough and I am infinite. Insert your focus. I hope you have an amazing November. This is a powerful time. Own your inner realm and enjoy the light language.
Msharat kraerot norbtal ilil imstor metsokrayet I krarat nod aroma. Bran sharot san kraeromat abdel araknie surutwch an kraerumdat. Kanand kraeromachan surmet taktil krorpat and Chonond grormbat sod rod ol lem choknairumat kand knairumat dal lel inshur unondo sukret et irutunuma. Kanda ord dal ramstairut ksur enashat iakrorma. Tanond grormbat idet sud urustur ktil ililu matche grormat edat. Kanand gnairumat sur neshterut ol kand aro. Kando emta. Tonum sur etche grorum der niet sud ktir ul net urmta. Mnand krajastur utsur tekterut num krajanot urmaptand ktai. Han orum dal erektastur matsud ukrajt tokwa. Hand kaima atso. Chunk reptat not unum tktel nen sur mesturta. Kanand krajarumat non sur urut und kend urumba. Nand ka. Son starumat saktel urmta de end grand iem. Koanda hamsho. Kam akrerut oa. Tand urmta Klal inum stor nakt sekatiert num aktier ner urmta at grotsat stuk in de te om. Kanda anda. Wam stein. Kan suri chokramdaet and ktel urmta. Kando urmdar sorostan kderut sum amstan chanand raironamat klal arashtair netsur mba ekror to or hamdorbt and krashtar otsur integreral kaima kchana ta karat sur danam ayo orut tal urmdast gretsur it eruk net ernet chanand grarum datser nektir ur de el Tana kororumba. En shayet so. Chana ektiar. Brombab and brayet grorest ekter undam. Kramba nena. Korm setcher doktorumbe. Et serut Tonund grerm der surachot grel alarma tand. Kam soam. Kwamba. Samsteirum dat sekroret in grel ilm ananj okron ka kam bra ka som